Do you remember anything about how the rough land was actually used in the past?
Well, when my father moved to Cairn in 1956, Cairn at that time had a boundary right round it that had an electric fence which had already fallen into disrepair. So it shows that that was grazed not just since 56 but long enough prior to it that the electric fence by that stage was already falling into disrepair. So it's a long history of being grazed.
We did at June. We reared 5 or 6 heifers, and when they were in calf they were then turned out onto the rough grazing every morning, and when we came in from school we went and fetched them home again, and they were then sold with a calf by their side round about Michaelmas time.
These moors being grazed, fenced all the time, nearly I've been there. The gentleman who was farming, Mr. Thomas, before me at Lanyon, used to run the moors all the time. 40 years ago you could walk across the moors anywhere because it was continually being grazed with cattle and all the year round. So, and I think that's the problem today. We're not grazing these moors early enough for the public to walk on them. I grazed the moors for 30 years. We found it very successful doing that. Cattle used to run in a field or two a day and go out and lie down on the peak and the bracken of the night, kept very clean and dry, never had any problems.
I lived in Biscazwell there. We had a little holding there, milked about 10 cows, and also we had rights on the cliff. And I remember very vividly that the cattle used to run out on the cliff at occasional times, and my neighbour also used to run their cattle there. I remember an old miner telling me that the Biscazwell Cliffs, he remembered that they used to be like a lawn because they used to run geese and various other cattle there as well.
My 3 uncles, they used to work together. We used to have Resolvo, never used to have a lot of downs. And Ninnis, we used to have Mulfer Hill, we could graze. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Billy up Boss of Spinnis, he had all animals Cairn and Clongalvers. Yeah. When they got short grass, I remember 1959.
Well,
they turned them all to down.
They moors out a lot of farmers out.
Oh, definitely.
Well, that was 1959, early 1960s.
Yeah. He was a big help in the winter, that was, to turn the cattle out on the cliff there.
It's something when we used to go up Carntonage to drink, we used to let the cows out and we'd walk on in front because other farms, the cattle would be left out to go to drink as well. Like, you know, when we saw a farmer coming out with his cattle, we would stop in front of ours and keep them there then till their cows had a drink and gone back.
Work together.
It's a lovely, everybody would work together. And neighbours were neighbours.